Now, overcut really changed the game in Saudi Arabia. Safety car was another thing that really pushed the game in Saudi Arabia for the teams. Overcut, safety car, Alonso. Welcome to Exxon F1, also known as Formula 1 Column Africa. My name is Ashfes Oluwadamilare. Chill. So, overcut. Lance Stroll earlier to pit for new tires was able to get the hard tires on, and Lewis Hamilton has been complaining about their tires, him not being able to get it into their tires, which was a struggle for him. And we all know, if you watch the 2021 race, you would know about the magic button that took Hamilton out of the race. The magic button that made him lose to Sergio Perez. Max Verstappen was leading the race. 2021, he was flying. And you can't believe it. He got a puncture that sent him spinning. He could have changed his tire. Prior to his puncture, Stroll had the same puncture. They could have changed his tire, but they refused. Those tires were overheating because of temperate condition of Azerbaijan that day. He got a puncture, blew out his tires, caused a massive accident. He was saved. All drivers got into the pit. There was a restart. After the formation lap, as they were lining up, Hamilton pressed the magic button that will put much heat into his tire so that he can get ahead of Sergio Perez because he was on the dirty side. Unfortunately, he ran through the racetrack and Sergio Perez got ahead of him. While he was even ahead of Sergio Perez, Perez got ahead of him. So I think Stroll believed he can use the magic button. But when they did the undercut, they thought it would work for them. But the undercut failed to work for them. By the time he came out, he was behind the slower cars. The Ferraris waited some time. They pitted. They went ahead. That was Sainz first, then Leclerc. They were ahead of the Aston Martin. Unfortunately, the Aston Martin got parked because he was trying to overheat tires. So his brake failed and they lost out. So it was the first retirement for the race in Jeddah 2023. So beautiful for them. Leclerc, Sainz, they've changed. They overcut the Aston Martin of Stroll. There was a safety car, which gives other cars that have not pitted the opportunity to quickly enter the pit and change. Every other person entered and changed their tires, and they came out in the same position they were. The Ferraris moved close. They've moved up a little. That was how Lewis Hamilton was able to maintain to get a good position. Now, in a race like that, you need to use two compounds of tires. Lewis Hamilton have complained about the hard tires, and it pays him to use the hard tire in the first thing because it was a good advantage for him. And they know the soft tires will not last until the end of the race because they're using a free pit stop. So most of the teams cannot go for the soft tires. It was around lap 22, 23. So they went for their tires, which gave Hamilton an opportunity because he was on the medium tire that is faster and better than the hard tires. That gave him the opportunity to go ahead of the Ferraris. But Mercedes should have called it in so that Lewis Hamilton can hunt down Fernando Alonso. But I think they were trying to give the race to George Russell. George Russell too was a little bit skeptical and stubborn. But all that still gave him an imbalance and he lost the race. Unfortunately, he lost the position because he could have become third. Fernando Alonso was given a penalty at the start of the race. Now to Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso made the same mistake that his former teammate in Alpine, Esteban Ocon, made in the first race of the season. Parked outside the line and he was given a 5-second penalty. On his free pit stop, the mechanics made a mistake. There was a jack. The jack was already placed behind the car, touching the car before the 5-second time was up. He was penalized again during the race, and that penalty would have given him 5th position. But the FIA is deliberating on what to give him. But if they're giving him 5-second penalty, it means they've made a mistake in giving Esteban Ocon a 10-second penalty in the last race, which they are meant to give Sergio Perez also a 10-second penalty. But that is learning for him. They learn every day. They make mistakes. They learn every day, and they grow every day. And there are still loads of upgrades, updates, and I believe most of these teams would have worked on their car ahead of the Australian GP, which is next. But that race will be in the very early hours of the morning. The practice will be early hours of the morning. But you watch our video, we catch you with our video, we give you the gist, the analysis. But towards the time, whatever updates are coming in, whatever things are coming in, we keep you updated, we keep you abreast. And sorry to Sir Lewis Hamilton for sacking his physiotherapist friend Angela Collin, because he'll be going through a tough season now when his car is in a difficult situation. He himself is in a difficult situation with Mercedes, and there's nobody to work with him. Hope he gets a new physiotherapy as soon as possible. And I keep pushing Red Bull and Max Verstappen. Good race this year. And I hope Sergio Perez is given the opportunity to win his own first championship with Red Bull this season. On to the next one. We'll catch you. Thanks. Bye. At Exxon F1, our main aim is to bring you the knowledge of Formula 1, educate you, bring you the races, how it goes down, help you to understand it more. On our shorts, you'll be seeing some educational terminologies and words that are used during the race that you might not understand. And our long goal is to bring a Formula One race to Africa, possibly Nigeria, and also to educate people and to help in the knowledge transfer of getting Nigerians into some part of Formula One, the racing, which will take a long time because we need to have good karting category to challenge, to get drivers from the karting categories into the small formulas, the Renault formulas, Formula 4, and other formulas before we can get a driver to Formula 1. That might take a long time, but that is our goal, to be the bridge to help people realize their dream in Formula 1. Some people may not even know that is where they are meant to be, but our own main aim is to help them to navigate and realize that goal. And also to help people to grow in the engineering, the other administrative aspect of the game. If possibly a billionaire in Nigeria want to buy to buy a team in Formula One or be one of the sponsors, so that they can see that we have the quality hands that will do it, which will also help in aiding how our engineering develop as a nation, because with young graduates or young entrepreneur, young engineers learning the engineering of Formula One, the CFD, the fluid dynamics, and all the parts of Formula One, we'll find ourselves growing in car development, because the cars you see today, most of the technologies are well tested in Formula One before they become today's technology. And if you have people there, it will help our technical know-how to build good mechanics, good engineers, and it also promotes the revenue generation for a nation. It's part of our dream to bring karting, to bring this race to Nigeria and to Africa also, and to help a young African, to help a young African to realize his dream, not just in Formula One, but being an engineer and being part of this world. It will also create a lot of employment for a lot of people, and this will take a lot of people out of the street. That is our main aim. That is why we have this channel. If there's a way you can support, we'd love you to come on board, work with us. I would love to work with you. Thank you.